And we've been joined by Houston coach Tony Levine. The Cougars are 7-3 overall, 4-2 in the American Athletic Conference. Last week, Houston was at Louisville. Louisville won the game 20-13. This Saturday, Houston back in action at home against Cincinnati. That game will be at BBVA Compass Stadium. It will be a noon Eastern Time start on ESPN News. Coach, thanks for joining us on the call this week. If you could take a minute to tie up the trip to Louisville and tell us what you look forward to back at home against Cincinnati on Saturday, please.
Well, it's certainly good to be back home, and I go back to the last couple of games our young men played in this one most recently. I certainly give a lot of credit to Coach Charlie Strong and his staff. He's done a tremendous job there in his 4 years there as head coach. Certainly they've got a great program, and he's done a fantastic job recruiting. The last couple of weeks, our program has enjoyed playing some of these established programs that have been in this conference for a number of years, like a Louisville, like a South Florida, like a Rutgers, and really enjoyed the environments as well on the road. But again, looking forward to being back home, having our fans in the stands, and playing again a very well coached and talented team in Cincinnati. So they went on the road to Rutgers, executed in all three phases is about as good as I've seen any team do in one game all season, and it'll be a great challenge for us.
Take questions for Coach Levine, please hit *1 on your telephone to join the queue. The operator will introduce you.
And we'll first hear from Tom Groshen with Cincinnati Enquirer.
Hello, Coach. A couple things just quickly. You mentioned, obviously, Cincinnati, they're very hot with a 5-game winning streak, and you've had a couple of tough losses. Just want to comment a little further, if you would, on Cincinnati, what you've seen of them lately, and also if I could have you touch on the fact that you once coached under Tommy Tuberville.
Yes, absolutely, Tom. In a couple of things. I think first and foremost it starts with Coach Tuberville and his staff there. I've got a tremendous amount of respect for Coach Tuberville and the staff. A couple of those coaches, Eddie Gran is a very close friend of mine. Blake Rowland, I certainly know as well. And obviously, having worked for Coach Tuberville when he was at Auburn, we go back kind of to the early part of my coaching career. I was a graduate assistant for him in 2000 and 2001. So learned a lot of things from him. Again, I say again, Tom, I've always wanted to be a head coach, and if given the opportunity, I've been fortunate in my career to work for some very successful head coaches, Kevin Sumlin, John Fox, Bobby Petrino, and certainly Coach Tuberville, and I've always taken things from them that if I were given this opportunity to run my own program, that I would certainly do, and things that Coach Tuberville did and certainly does to this day influenced me in what I'm doing with our program here. When you look at Cincinnati right now, certainly they're very confident. I think they're playing as good of team football right now as anyone in our conference, and they've got a very, very, very talented football team right now. I think certainly Coach Jones did a great job of recruiting in his time there, and certainly Coach Tuberville has added to that as well. And they're very athletic. They've got great size, and I think they're very, very well coached in all three phases. So it'll be a great challenge for us. Again, I think their confidence is very high right now. You see that in the way they play and their demeanor on the sidelines. And it'll be a challenge for us and good for our young guys to be back at home in Houston, if you will.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tom.
And we'll move on to Joseph Duarte with Houston Chronicle.
Good morning, Tony.
Good morning, Joseph.
Hey, the last few weeks, Tony, you faced some really good quarterbacks, beginning with Bortles at UCF and Bridgewater last week. But can you talk a little bit about Kay and the fact that he's number 2 in the nation and completion percentage?
Well, it's interesting. It's two programs playing each other this weekend that have had successful seasons, and both right now. Brendan Kay, when the season started, was not their starting quarterback, nor was John O'Corn. So, however, Brendan's got a wealth of experience, and he is really done a great job over the course of the season, doing exactly what they want to do offensively, which is new, obviously, with Coach Gran coordinating the offense this year in the change in staff. So you see the improvement over the course of the season. Very accurate. I think their receivers and tight ends catch the ball as good, if not better, than anyone we've faced to this point. And he's being very efficient and making great decisions. So it's a confident group right now. And I think as you look at the success they're having offensively, and again, I credit Coach Gran and the offensive staff. They're doing a great job mixing up their plays, being creative. Again, they're going up-tempo, which is something a little bit new to their program. But I also credit certainly the play that they've had from Brendan at the quarterback position.
Lastly, where are you guys on Greenberry right now? Is there an update on his status?
No, I'll know more on him tomorrow. Right now it's day to day. I know in talking to him yesterday, he feels better. It doesn't shock me that Deontay Greenberry told me he feels better because he wants to play. But again, I'm not a doctor. He met with our medical staff this morning at 7:30, and we'll have more of an update on his status tomorrow.
Do you have any other questions for Coach Levine, please? Then, Coach, well, thank you for your time this week. Look forward to talking to you again next Monday.
Likewise. Thank you.
Right. And that is Houston against Cincinnati at BBVA Compass Stadium, noon Eastern Time on ESPN News.